Y'all, I am so scared for this story time. Like, do you guys see? Oh my, do you guys see my head shaking? I am so, like, talking about my experience with the devil gives me so much anxiety. I literally would have anxiety and panic attacks about this. I still do sometimes. Like, I'm literally, my pits are starting to sweat, so I hope y'all can't see it in this gray sweater. So my pits, my palms, I start to shake. I usually cry, but we're not gonna cry this time. No, not for the tube, okay? That's not happening. Before we get into this story about how I spoke to the devil and God himself, let's just get into my background because it is relevant to the story. So I was raised as a Christian my entire life from the womb. My mom was raised as a Christian from the womb. And then I believe my grandma was raised Catholic. I know they're a form of Christianity, whatever. Because I know Catholics and then like other denominations, very different beliefs in certain aspects. I believe she was raised Catholic her whole life and she's not Catholic anymore. I was raised in a Baptist church, which does matter because we don't baptize babies as kids. Like, this is what my pastora said, because I had to take baptism classes before getting baptized. I am baptized. She said that for someone to be baptized, like, they should want to be baptized. So that's why they don't do it as a baby, you know what I mean? So as a baby, we get blessings and then you get like godparents, things like that. And then when you're old enough, you decide, oh, I want to get baptized. That's when you take the baptism classes and then you go get baptized. So I got baptized, I think when I was like 12 or 13. So I've been baptized for over 10 years now, okay? And my grandma is a minister, period, as she should, okay? And then my mom, and she still goes to church, but she's not like anything, like not a minister, nothing like that. She just goes to church, whatever. So that's relevant to the story. And at the time of this story, my dad did not go to church. I don't know what this man believed in. I don't know. He just would never come, and I would always ask Mom, like, why isn't Daddy going to church? Mom's like, oh, like, we'll just pray for him. We'll pray that one day he wants to go to church. That's all she would tell us, right? So me and my brothers, Mom, Grandma always go to church, and so did everybody else in my family. My grandpa, my uncles, my cousins, my aunts, like, everybody went to church but my dad, okay? Relevant to the story. And it was a Spanish church, so it was like, everything was in Spanish and English. We would sing songs in Spanish, sing songs in English, and the whole church, like, we were all basically related in some way. We were all intertwined, connected. Like, it was one of those types of churches. I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. Because I know other people go to these churches. Because everybody always asks me, like, girl, you don't even speak Spanish, but how you be singing in Spanish and you know exactly what you're saying? Church. It was church, y'all. I could sing in Spanish in church. I could sing a Bad Bunny song in Spanish, okay? It's just easy for me, but I still don't understand it that well, okay? But anyways, let's get right into this. So now that we got the background out of the way, which is important, I started getting sleep paralysis, okay? If you don't know what sleep paralysis is, this was back in, I want to say high school. I believe it was high school days. I don't remember the age. High school. Sleep paralysis is when you're sleeping, and you wake up. And you're like, okay, let me get up. You're frozen. You're like, oh, I'm gonna lift my arm. Nothing's moving. Nothing. The only thing I can personally move was my lids. That's it. I can't open my mouth to speak. And in the corner of the room, you feel and see just a dark entity, a dark shadow. If you have ever experienced sleep paralysis, please let me know in the comment section. And if your experience is different than mine, that's what would personally happen to me. So I would get sleep paralysis a lot, but I never told nobody because it's just like irrelevant information. Like, I don't know, like, I just kept it to myself. But I would be scared, right? Would happen a lot. Very, very, very scary. And I know there's some people that are like, oh no, like, it's not real, it's your brain firing. It's real to me. It's real to me. It's a demon. I don't care what y'all gotta say. I don't care. In my eyes, demonic. Demonic. There's a demon in the corner, and you can feel them. You could feel them, and you're petrified, and you want to cry out for help, but you physically cannot move. And the only thing that I could do to make it better was just go back to bed. I'm like, okay, well, I can't move, I can't scream. I'm gonna go back to bed. That's what I would do every single time. Until there was one night, I will never forget this for the rest of my life, okay? There was one night I went to bed, and I had a nightmare. It was me and my dad in a car, right? And we're speeding. We're like running away from something. And I'm like, what are we running away from? Like, I'm confused. And y'all know how at nighttime, the street lights, they turn not the street lights. What are those things called? The red light and the green light, the stop lights. Is that what it's called? Whatever. Y'all know what I mean? Like red, yellow, green. Okay. You know how at nighttime, they turn them off and it's just blinking red. So you know, okay, like stop, let me look around and go, whatever. So we're driving. Every single stoplight blinking. So we're zooming. Well, my dad's zooming, right? Zooming. And we're running from somebody. I'm like, who are we running from? I turn around. It's the black freaking shadows that I would always see when I had sleep paralysis. And I instantly knew. Nobody had said anything. That was the devil. Instantly. Like, there was just like, I don't even know how to describe it. There was no words exchanged. Like, it's a shadow. It doesn't even have a mouth, but he told me somehow that he was the devil. You just know. If you have ever experienced this, even with angels or God, devil, demon, whatever it is, you guys know what I'm talking about. No words need to be exchanged. You just know. You see them, it's like, it's on sight. Like, oh, I know you're a devil. So he told me, I'm just gonna say told me, because again, there's no mouth. It's just a dark entity. He told me, I want you and your dad. And I'm like, oh my Lord. And I'm crying and I'm screaming and I'm crying, screaming, and my dad's zooming. And that was the dream for the entire time. I'm sweating just thinking about it. And I wake up bawling my eyes out. And so I tell my mom, I'm like, oh my gosh, like the devil said that he wants me and he wants daddy and da da da. And I will never forget, y'all. I think I was acting up at this time. I don't know why. I think I was acting up at this time. Don't ask me what I was doing. But my mom was like, yup, See, that's what's gonna happen when you keep acting up. So this is why you need to turn to the Lord. I don't even know what I was doing, but that's every time that I would act up and then something like that would happen, she'd be like, are you gonna stop acting up now? And when I say acting up, like sinning, you know what I mean? I was doing things I wasn't supposed to be. But it would freak me out because again, at this time, my dad wasn't in church. And so my mom, I could tell she was scared. She was like, we're gonna call your grandma. Your grandma's gonna pray. Da, da, da. I'm like, okay, like da, da, my grandma's gonna pray. Da, 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 da. Cool. Because again, my grandma's a minister. So she prayed over me. And then my grandma also even had to come to my house. And she went in my room and she was like, we're taking everything out that looks like it's dark spirited, whatever. And I had the biggest poster of Taylor Lautner because I'm team Jacob. Okay, this is when Twilight was popping, like Breaking Dawn part 2, cool. And guys, I still love it to this day. So it's not even popping no more and I still love it. I had the biggest poster of him and my grandma's like, you're taking that down. I'm like, oh, Taylor Lautner? I don't want to take down Taylor Lautner. I'm team Jacob. She was like, I don't care. She took it down. She had to pray over the room. She took some other stuff and I don't remember what it was, but I only remember that Taylor Lautner poster because I was so mad. I'm like, what? Because my best friend at the time, like, we're not best friends anymore, whatever. Either way, my best friend at the time, she had a big Edward poster and I had a Jacob poster. I'm like, hello, like she's team Edward, I'm team Jacob. How am I supposed to be team Jacob if I don't got the team Jacob poster? Like, whatever. After that, everything was fine, only for a few weeks. Again, another dream. Really similar, running away, car, same exact situation, knew it was the devil. He keeps telling me constantly, I want you and your dad, I want you and your dad. Until he gives me, I don't even know what it's, like a box. I don't know how to describe it. I guess it would be like a present, but it wasn't like wrapped in Christmas wrapping paper. He gave me a box, I opened it. It's a picture of my little brother. And at the time, he was still in like elementary school. So he's little, he's like, I want him too. And I lose it. I'm crying in my dream and then I end up waking up. I would wake up in tears. I wouldn't even know I was crying in real life until I'm like, oh my God, wait, like I'm up, right? Like that's how real it felt. It is real. You know what? Let me not say it was fake because I watch testimonies all the time on YouTube and people like, some people say, oh, like it was a dream. And then there's other people and they're like, no, like it was real. Like my spirit wasn't here. I believe the latter. I believe the latter. So whatever. He tells me I want him too. And again, wake up crying, tell my mom he wants me, he wants daddy, and he wants Brandon. That's my brother's name. And my mom was in denial. She's like, there's no way he's a baby. He doesn't want him. He's my mom's favorite child. Okay, let's just throw that out there. She has a favorite and it's him. And so I think that's why she was in denial, because fast forward, I think this has to be, how old am I? I'm 23. This had to be, you know, maybe a little less than 10 years ago, maybe 8, 7, I don't know how many years ago. And almost 10 years later, Brandon is now, he doesn't necessarily believe. I think he's just in a phase where he's like, I don't know, you know what I mean? So I'm like, bro, I saw that coming from a mile away. I'm telling you, he told me, the devil literally told me, he wants me, he wants my dad, he wants my brother. And I warned her, I said, hey, I'm just the messenger. Like, you think I want to say this? And she was like so mad, whatever. And again, she tells my grandma prays over me, comes back to my room, prays over my room, has like the, what do you call it? What do you call that? The oil? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The oil, she prays, put the cross, da-da-da, cool. Again, everything was fine for a few weeks. Still, at this time, my dad still wasn't in church. I'm still going to church. I didn't stop going to church until college. I'll get into that, but I'm still going to church. Everybody's still going to church besides my dad. A couple weeks later, another dream, okay? Another dream. And guys, by the way, I'm sorry if I'm all over the place with these stories and I keep like stuttering, because I'm nervous. Like, I don't, like, y'all know now in front of the camera, like, I'm fine talking, but like talking about this just freaks me out. It just freaks me out, whatever. A couple weeks later, I'm in a dream. Well, let me not say it was a dream. It was real, but we'll say dream for the sake of the story. And I'm in a white room. And like, it wasn't even really a room. Like, okay, perfect example. Let me show y'all. This room, these walls are white, okay? It wasn't a room like this. It wasn't a white room like this. It was just white. If you have ever been in heaven, right? Because I know some people say they've been to heaven and back. You know what I'm talking about. It was just light. But my only interpretation is that it's a white room, okay? I'm in light and I can't see myself. I can't see my physical body, but I know it's me. And all of a sudden I hear a voice. Like, it was a deep voice, but it wasn't too stern, it wasn't too deep. It was a male voice, and he starts talking to me, and I'm like, oh, can I see your face? Can I see your face? I knew it was God. Because again, you just know, like, they don't have to tell you. When I say they, I mean him and the devil. They don't have to say, oh, hey, it's God. Oh, hey, it's devil. You just know, because they speak to you through your mind. It's crazy. And I could not tell you a single word this man said. Nope, not a single word he said. I can't remember anything because I kept talking over him. I'm like, can I see your face? Can I please see your face? Please, because I'm just in light. I'm just in a white room. I can't see anything besides light, but I can hear him, and he had such a soothing voice. Like, I wasn't scared. You would think, like, girl, you're in a white room and you hear like a male voice speaking, like, you wouldn't be scared. No, I knew it was him. I'm like, can I see your face? And he ignored me. He just kept talking, and I kept not listening. And if you know how people say, what is your biggest life regret? Not listening, because I just was so worried about his face. But then I woke up and I felt so much better. And so again, I tell my mom tells my grandma, and my grandma's like, you don't want to see his face. If you see his face, that means you're dead and you wouldn't be here. And I'm like, hey, I wanted to see his face. That's all I was worried about. And they're trying to figure out, like, what did he say? And I'm like, I don't know. I literally didn't listen to anything this man had to say. I just was so focused on, Lord, can I see your face, please? Like, I was so pressed. So never got to see his face, and I'm really sad about that, whatever. But I don't know what he said, but ever since that day, for years after that, no more nightmares, no more sleep paralysis, no more nothing with the devil. And I also should have mentioned, after the first time I had that devil nightmare, my grandma made me open up my Bible. This is the exact Bible that she made me open. My grandma got me this. It has been stuck in this position for years upon years. She made me open Psalm 91, because I guess this is like a prayer over your sleep. And she made me highlight 2 Bible verses, so I'll just read them to you. So if you want to read them yourself, it's Psalm 91 verse 2. I will say of the Lord, he's my refuge and my fortress, my God, in him will I trust. And then she also made me highlight Psalms 91 verse 10. there shall be no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. This is definitely a version I don't understand, but anyways, that's besides the point. Then I went to college. Again, this Bible came with me. This, y'all, I think it's like permanently like in this position because it's been open for so long. I don't sleep without it. And my grandma had told me, if it happens again, you have to say you rebuke it in the name of Jesus. And I'm like, okay, I got it. But I never actually said that because the dream stopped at that point until my junior year of college. Randomly, another devil dream. Keep in mind, it hadn't happened in years, but this time, the best way to describe where I was at, it was like a haunted house. If anybody has watched Monster House, I think that's the name of it, Monster House, that's what it was like. The doors would just open and shut on its own. The lights were flickering on and off. It's just things are getting thrown like out of a scary movie. And I'm in the house and I'm trying to get out of here. And I know the devil's taunting me. He's laughing at me. Again, it's just a black entity, like a shot. Like the best way to describe it is think about the scary movies and you know how you see a black shadow coming. You're like, oh my God, he's gonna come for you. That's how it is. But just an entity. There's nobody about to pop out. He's an entity and I just knew it was him. So the devil isn't what you see in social media or these Halloween costumes, the red horns and the red skin, and no. Dark energy, dark shadow, okay? And he's laughing at me because I'm trying to open the doors and it's like a maze. I open a door and I'm in the same room. I keep opening different doors and I keep coming back to the same room. He's throwing books, throwing all these things. And he's laughing at me because I can't get out. And I'm like, okay, you're laughing at me? I'm gonna call my grandma, okay? Because again, I knew I should have rebuked it in the name of Jesus, but like I was just like, I'm gonna call my grandma. My grandma's a minister, like you, whatever. Cause I feel like my grandma has a special connection with God. I'm telling you, grandmas for some reason, like they're closer. Like they could say, hey Lord, like, can you do this? And God will do it instantly. Like it's crazy. So it's like, it's okay. I'm gonna call my grandma and my grandma's gonna tell God, like whatever. So I call my grandma, I'm like the devil's here at the house again. This is all in a dream, by the way. The devil's here at the house again. Like please, like can you come get me? She's like, okay, I'll drive there right now. She gets there and she's like, I can't come in. I'm like, what do you mean you can't come in? I'm crying. I'm still going through the doors and the devil's still taunting me like, haha, like girl, like you can't get out, whatever. And he basically was taunting me as in like, I'm stuck with him forever. Like that's it, it's a wrap, right? So it wasn't hell, but I think he was taunting me as if it was, whatever. And my grandma's like, I can't come in. I'm on the phone with her. I'm like, I can see your car, like just come in, come in. She's like, you have to rebuke it in the name of Jesus. Like I can't come in. And she's reading the exact Psalm 91. She's reading this in my dream, but because I'm not rebuking it, I'm like he wasn't going anywhere. I'm like, oh, like please come in. She's like, you have to. I'm like, okay, I rebuke in the name of Jesus. Dream's over, nightmare's over. And again, I'm waking up crying, calling my mom. Keep in mind, I went to school in New York, so my mom was in Connecticut, so I couldn't just like go downstairs and cry. Like I had to call her in the middle of the night. And it's crazy because she picked up on the first ring. I'm bawling my eyes out and I didn't have to tell her. I'm bawling, I'm like, mommy. And she knew. She's like, you're having another nightmare, huh? Because again, I was acting up in college. She's like, I told you about acting up. Like she just knew every time I would act up, I would have these dreams, right? So again, my mom tells my grandma then tells me I have to pray over you and I'm gonna pray over the situation. And she didn't come pray over my room because I was an hour and a half away from home and it was also literally like 3 in the morning, middle of the night, so they're not gonna drive all the way over there. And that was my last encounter with him. So 3 or 4 years ago, that was the last dream that I had, or I should say nightmare, with the devil in it. And it's crazy because once I got to college, my dad started going to church. Like I was like, what? Like he's gonna go to church? Like what? Because I never in my life saw that. My dad started going to church, and so I feel like that's why in my last dream he was just focused on me. My dad wasn't in it this time. My brother wasn't in it this time. Just me. And I also stopped going to college. I also stopped going to church in college because I went to a Catholic college. I was like, oh, like I don't want to go to the Catholic church. Like no, like it's fine. And after that dream, I was like, every Sunday we gotta be there. Let's go. So even though I'm not Catholic still, I would still go. I would just listen to like their little preaching. Their preachings are like 15 minutes. So I was like, okay, like if you go to a Hispanic church, you know how it is. They be preaching for like 2 hours, bro. So I was like, okay, I can sit down for 15 minutes, hear a little preaching for 15 minutes, and I would go every Sunday after that. And I still don't go to church now. I really should, but I just haven't found one, because the church I used to go to back home, they closed down. So I gotta figure one out. And yeah, that was the last time I spoke to God in that dream. He's spoken to me in other ways, but he's never, since that day, he's never flat out been in my dream and be like, hey, and tell me what he has to tell me. And I pray all the time before I go to bed. I'm like, Lord, can you talk to me again? I'll listen this time. He hasn't done it. He hasn't done it. So if that ever happens again, I learn my lesson. I'll shut up and listen. So yeah, hopefully this lands on the right side of YouTube, because if it lands on the wrong side, then I'm gonna get all these hate comments and people being rude, which I don't care. But y'all know the people who are like anti-Christian, and it lands on that page. But I hope it lands on the Christian side of YouTube, so you guys have like a testimony. You guys can hear what happened to me and things like that. So yeah, that's my story. And am I sweating? Can y'all see the sweat stains? No. Excellent. I'm still sweating throughout that entire talk. I've been sweating. So yeah, if I have any more encounters, like very in-depth encounters like that, and y'all want to know about them, let me know. I have so many other like just little minute stories of how he spoke to me, like God and stuff like that, but it's just something that only I would know he spoke to me. You know what I mean? Like I'll be like, Lord, give me a sign, like have this happen as a sign, and that exact thing will happen. Little things like that, but nothing in depth the way this was happening for years and years and years. And again, if you have ever experienced anything like this, whether it's the sleep paralysis, the nightmares, anything like that, please let me know in the comment section and let me hear your story so that other people can read your story as well. Yeah.